Hi guys, welcome back to Surviving Parenthood. I am Andrea and today we're doing New Parents 101. So I'm just basically going to share with you some tips and advice that I have for all the new parents out there. So whether you're expecting or you just brought home your little one, these are some little tips that I have to share with you. So I had my son, my firstborn, over 10 years ago, and I remember it like yesterday. I remember coming home from the hospital with my little one, and he was fast asleep in his little baby carrier or baby car seat, and just thinking like, what do I do now? Like, now what? Do I wake him up and play with him? Like, what do I do? And soon enough, it didn't take me very long to kind of get into the rhythm things and just realize, like, you know what? I got this. So first of all, I have to tell you, new parents out there, take a deep breath. You got this. So a key point of advice for all the new parents out there is there's no right or wrong way to parent. That in today's day and era, there's like so much information out there that it feels overwhelming. And in the past 10 years, I've seen it just like explode, where I'm just like, whoa, I don't even know what I would do if I was having my first child right now. I mean, there's books, there's statistics, there's blogs, there's YouTube videos on parenting. I mean, it's just like overwhelming. It's like, what do I do? What's the right way? The right way is what works for you. It's taking a little bit of everything and just finding the balance that works for you, your baby, your family. That's kind of what I've always done. I never was one to like follow a manual or follow a certain like parenting style, because it just nothing felt 100% right. I liked a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then I just found what worked for our family and our dynamic. So a lot of parenting techniques kind of come from your own experience, whether your parents did something right or did something wrong, whether you just want to change things up a little bit. It's all natural instincts. It's just how you were raised, taking what you see around you, and kind of finding your own little like perfect parenting technique for your family. So when I was a new mom, it took me about 3 or 4 months to finally realize I need some kind of schedule. I need a plan. I need a routine. And I feel like it probably would take you a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months, to find a routine anyways. When your baby first is born, they're just figuring out life and figuring out what's going on in the world, you know? So it takes a while to kind of develop a routine, but the sooner you do it, the better it is for everyone. Now, you don't have to be like a super stickler on it, like, oh, it's 12 o'clock, we gotta eat, or oh, 7 o'clock, we gotta get ready for bed. You know, you can be relaxed about it, or you can be strict about it. It's just finding what works for you, but finding a routine definitely makes it easier for the whole family. Your kids will learn routines within 2 weeks. It's kind of what I've noticed through parenting, and I remember hearing that it takes about 2 weeks to form a habit, and your child will develop that too. Of course, when they're newborns, it takes a little bit longer just because they have to eat, you know, every few hours or whatever it is for a few months, and they don't really comprehend that, oh, it's playtime, oh, it's bedtime, you know, like they just do what they do because they're just trying to survive. But once they get past that phase, then you'll start to realize that a routine actually works. They know when it's nap time. They just naturally, their clock is, you know, feeling sleepy, and they're feeling hungry at lunchtime, and it just becomes easier. It was definitely easier when we had babysitters. We'd always have like either my mom or my husband's mom like watch the kids, and they always just thought it was so awesome that our kids had a routine that they could follow as well, and just made their lives easier babysitting, and it made it more enjoyable for them. It also made it enjoyable for us because we weren't so worried about like, oh no, if it was an overnight babysitting kind of thing where like, I hope our baby goes to sleep on time and isn't crying all night. Like, it just became something that they were used to. It doesn't matter where they were just going to do their routine. So finding something that works for you and understanding that it does take time to develop one, and you can change it up. It's totally fine to do that, you know, as your family dynamic kind of changes, or, you know, sometimes you work around, like if your spouse works nights, then you kind of work something out, so maybe your baby sleeps in a little bit so you guys can have some family time later in the day, or just, you know, whatever works for you. Finding a routine is definitely helpful. My second word of advice that I think is very key and helped me a lot being a new mom was finding a group of other moms, a good support system, other moms who understood what I was going through, and I could share the exciting things, I could share the sleepless nights and horror stories with, and I didn't feel like I was, some odd person that they understood, and I felt like, oh, I found my people I can share with you and you understand. Like, that was so helpful for me. I was the first of my friends to have a kid, and I didn't know anybody who had had a baby in the last 18 years, really. So it was kind of overwhelming, and it took me about a year to finally realize, like, I need to find some friends with babies. So I finally found like a play group that I started like attending, and then I developed some really awesome friendships through that. Like within, I don't know, like 8 months or so, we just became such good friends that we didn't even need the play group anymore. We would just text each other and do our own like field trips and play activities, and we do mom's night out, and we get together with our husbands and barbecue as families. I mean, it just became like this great friendship and fellowship of motherhood that I just like I'm so grateful for. It kept me sane. I didn't feel alone. I felt like somebody could empathize with what I was going through as a parent. And my child was developing social skills and friendships with these other children, and they still are to this day friends. We can get together after not seeing each other for 4 months, and our kids like are back to being best friends, and we're back to catching up and having fun. It's so awesome, and I definitely recommend it. If you are kind of like the only one in your group who has a child, find other moms at the park, through play groups, through community activities. It's just nice. I mean, I would say sooner the better. I wish I didn't wait a whole year till I finally started finding other parents, because I went through that year, sharing with my friends who didn't have kids, who were in college or just starting their careers, like, oh, guess what just happened, the good, the bad, or whatever. And I'm just like, oh, how cute, like they were being great friends and being supportive, but they just didn't know what I was going through. And it was really hard sometimes, where I'm just like, oh, I feel so lost. So once I found that great friendship of other mothers, it was just awesome, and I'm so grateful for that. So as a new parent, I would definitely recommend it. Just find some moms, and even just one other mom who knows what you're going through, who's going through it as well, to kind of have that friendship with, and it just makes life easier, and it'll make you more sane, because you have somebody to talk to during the day, and they understand if you get interrupted 500 times by your baby, because they're getting interrupted too, but you just like, oh, yay, it's nice to have that friendship. So definitely recommend that. So I just want to end, emphasizing what I started with. You have this natural instinct as a mother, as a parent, to raise your child. You know it's right for your family. Of course, there's situations where you need to call the doctor, or call your mom, or read a book or whatever, because you're not quite sure if this is normal. But overall, when you find what works for your family, it's just all coming from instinct. It's just all coming from different pieces of different like parenting methods and techniques, and advice of those around you, to meld your own, and just enjoy this time, because it goes by so fast, and it doesn't always get easier, it just gets different, and it's an adventure. It's a lovely adventure. We are all blessed to be parents, and just enjoy it. Have a sense of humor with it, and you'll do an amazing job. So congratulations to all those new mommies out there, and I will see you guys again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.